Okay, let's see here. Good morning and happy Saturday, everybody. All right. I decided to sit on the front porch since we are talking safe Halloween in a pandemic. This little happy fall, y'all owl that's right behind me is about the only fall decor that I have out. So I figure we'd put that in the background. And since trick or treating usually happens on the front porch, I thought this would be a good spot for it. It's a little bit windy and it's definitely a cloudy day, so everybody can enjoy kind of a lazy day inside, hopefully. So, our general kind of coronavirus updates for this week, we have seen a little bit of an increase in just overall case count. So definitely something to be mindful of, and make sure that you're still following those tried and true guidelines and safety precautions of wearing your mask, washing your hands, and keeping your distance. So remember to keep that up. I know that y'all are really tired of it, and I am too. I know it's no fun, but be sure to continue to observe those things as much as possible so that you can keep yourself and others safe. I was going to give just a quick tip. I was just on my way home from rounding at the hospital and was listening to a podcast that I think would be interesting for a lot of you guys. It is more of a medical podcast, so it's put out by the Journal of the American Medical Association, but it's called Conversations with Dr. Bachner, and it is kind of general updates. A lot of them right now are coronavirus related, but they're only about 30 minutes or so, kind of quick conversations about basic things and good updates. So some of them might be a little bit too medical for your liking, but some of the ones that are on coronavirus are pretty easy to understand and pretty basic and give an overview of a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with right now. So you can find those on Apple Podcast, or I think probably some other podcast platforms. But I thought that might be useful and helpful for you guys, so I thought I would put that out there. Another reminder just about the Dear Pandemic page that you can find on Facebook. They've got their own website. They have an Instagram as well. And so they are a really good group of scientists, primarily PhDs, that do a lot of research. And so they have a lot of experience in examining data and giving good overview. And so they're giving a lot of really good tips and kind of breaking down all of this news that we're completely overwhelmed by, breaking it down into a more simple way for us to understand it and kind of giving you the basics of that stuff. So that's just a good one to follow on Facebook, Instagram, or just check their website periodically. So that one's called Dear Pandemic, and I've definitely talked about them before, and I share a lot of their posts. So those are some good general updates. Another reminder to make sure to get your flu shot too, so don't forget that. It's definitely the season for that. I've been really proud of all my patients coming to get their flu shots, and I've had some good success at convincing people to get the flu shot that they did not want to get it initially. So good job to all of my patients and our patients at the clinic. Proud of you guys for getting your flu shot and getting it early. So that's great. I'm glad to see that we're getting more flu shots, I think, this year than we have in years past. So now we will move on to the Halloween topic. So thank you to my friend Laura for reminding me that I need to talk about this, because it definitely was on my list, but I had kind of forgotten about it. So this is a great year for costumes with a mask, because you can kind of kill two birds with one stone, get a great costume with a mask, and then you don't have to worry about that when you're out and about trick-or-treating and everything. You've got your face covering just kind of built in. So really great year for costumes with a mask, so that's a great idea. I think that this is a really fun year too. I know a lot of places have gotten into doing the like trunk or treats or fall festivals and that kind of stuff, which is really fun. And I think those are great activities to do. It's kind of a contained environment. I know for you guys that have young kiddos, that's a little bit easier because you're not chasing around the streets and that kind of stuff. But I think this is a good year to maybe kind of do a little throwback and go back to traditional trick-or-treating, door to door. It's outdoors, and so you have that kind of good ventilation and some opportunity to distance. And it's a fun, change if your kids haven't really done that before. I think that's a good activity and option for Halloween and trick-or-treating this year is to kind of go back to the traditional door-to-door style trick-or-treating. I've thought of and heard of and seen some tips for ways to kind of further distance your candy handing out, I guess is the best way to put it. So some really fun ideas. Catherine Panel, I know, posted, and I've seen some other people post about candy chutes, where you basically kind of make out of PVC tubing or, you know, some type of plastic tubing or cardboard tubing, kind of decorate it with Halloween decor, lights, all kinds of stuff. So basically make a long tube or chute that you can drop candy in, and so it can just go directly into people's bags. And so I think that's a fun way. That's a fun activity to do with the kids too, is to make your own candy chute and things like that. Some other ideas for that, I know my sister has like a balcony off of her front of her condo house, and so if you have something like that, then you could, you know, sit outside and enjoy the evening and be able to kind of drop candy down to kids either through something similar like a chute, or you can kind of do it Mardi Gras style and toss it for the kids to catch. So that can kind of be a fun game to do it that way. Let's see, I thought about just like kind of a regular kid slide. If you've got something like that, you could definitely set that up in front of the house or by the front door, and you can do that. You could try a slingshot. That may depend on how good your aim is. You may not want to do that. You might want to be careful for especially the young kids, but maybe the older kids, that can be a fun way to pass candy out. And then I also thought too, almost like an Easter egg hunt, kind of dispersing candy, you know, depending on the weather and what the setup of your yard is. But definitely a fun year to maybe do some extra decorations in the front yard and maybe hide candy around in the front yard and kind of make it almost like a little Easter egg hunt or scavenger hunt, something like that, so that kids could just kind of go around in the yard and find stuff and keep a good distance that way. You could even get some old plastic Easter eggs, and you guys could decorate those with the kids too. So decorate them Halloween style and drop those out around in the yard. So that would be a fun way to keep the distance as well. So I think that would be fun too. Let's see, another thing that I was going to recommend, just I know a lot of the time some people worry about the amount of candy that their kids are getting. Obviously that's an important topic for me. Being a family medicine doctor, I want to make sure that the kids and adults both are staying healthy. So I do think it's fun to give yourself a break in your diet and have some candy and enjoy yourself a little bit. But for some people who might be watching their diet and watching what they're eating, you can always try to do some healthy trick-or-treat snacks as well. So you can do granola bars, you can do pieces of fruit like apples and oranges, especially like the little clementine oranges can be really good to pass out. You can even do like little snack mixes, so Chex Mix. You could buy like big bags or boxes of that and divide it up into little small baggies. Goldfish are always a hit, so those are yummy treats, things like that. So you can do a little bit healthier snacks too, and sometimes that's just a good variety. You get a little tired of the Halloween candy, I think, after a few days. So I think that's a fun idea to do too, and encourage a little bit of a healthy snack. You could give moms a break on packing those lunch boxes, and they can have some healthy snacks to add in there. So I think that's always a fun option or addition to your trick-or-treat treats. Is something that's a little bit healthier. So that's a fun thing to give a try. Let's see here. Those are most of my fun ideas as far as making Halloween still a fun holiday this year and kind of distance. I was going to talk a little bit about like costumes. So you guys that are watching, feel free to comment. And feel free to comment after the fact too. I think that's fun for just costume ideas. So best Halloween costume that you've ever had. And I was thinking about this for myself. I think probably my best childhood costume that I had, which would work well for this year too, because it has like a face covering incorporated. I think 2 years in a row. One year I was I Dream of Jeannie, and so I dressed up in the pink Jeannie outfit, and I had a little, face covering that went along with that. So that's a good one for this year. But that also corresponds to Jasmine, who I believe I was like the year after that when I was a kid. So I was basically a Jeannie 2 years in a row. And then I did also dress up as Jasmine from Aladdin last year. And so that's obviously been a big favorite of mine. But those are fun ones that you can incorporate a little bit of a scarf for a face covering or mask for that. And then I think my favorite adult costume that I could at least think of that I've done in years past is one year during med school dressed up as a lifeguard. So that was a fun costume. I got my lifeguard tank and had my like white paint to do sunscreen over my nose, sunglasses. I got to use my fanny pack, so I had an easy access purse to carry around all night, which was fun. Fanny packs are thankfully more in style now, so you can find them anywhere. But that was a fun outfit too because it was pretty easy, very comfortable, and you had all your stuff accessible and easy in the fanny pack, even if you needed spare place to put your candy that you're carrying too. So those are just kind of some fun ideas. So y'all feel free to comment on what your favorite costumes have been, either as a kid or an adult. And then your favorite candy. This is a great one for Halloween. I'm a big chocolate lover. Obviously, can't have too much of it. So I think my favorite Halloween candy, probably, I'm going to say, is a Twix. Those are probably my favorite little minis to get in my Halloween bag because you've got the chocolate, some caramel, and those are really yummy. So y'all feel free to comment on that and share your thoughts and ideas. And I think that's a fun thing to kind of go into this month and go into fall. I do have just a little FYI in the comments I was going to mention from Linda. And she posted as well just kind of another thing to pay attention to or listen to on the Children's Foundation of Mississippi website. They have a few videos posted about COVID, schools, child care, and just general information that they have coordinated with Dr. Dobbs. And so that you can find in their Chat About Children series, and that's a really easy to understand platform for that kind of information if you're looking for that stuff too. So thank you for that. I have not seen those. I'll have to check that out. So you guys check that out as well. And that's all I have for this week. So we're going to keep it kind of short on this cloudy and dreary Saturday. I hope everybody that's been affected by the storms is safe and doing well. And I hope that you guys have a good weekend. I'm going to spend some time doing some home editing and organizing and cleaning up my house today. So hope you guys have a good weekend, and y'all feel free to send me any other ideas or questions or topics that you want to hear about from me in videos, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.